Daniel often found himself staring at his shelter, not out of pride, but out of disbelief. 6 months ago, he wouldn't have known where to begin. Now every branch, every knot, every layer of leaves told a story of trial, failure, and memory, fragments of things he once watched casually on a screen, now etched into instinct. He remembered the first night. No shelter, no fire, just darkness and the distant sounds of predators circling somewhere beyond sight. He had climbed a tree and tied himself loosely to a branch with vines, afraid he might fall asleep and drop to the forest floor. He barely slept. Every rustle felt like death approaching. The next morning, desperation pushed him to act. Find high ground, avoid flood zones. The words came back to him like a voice from the past. YouTube survival video he had once watched out of boredom. He followed the slope upward until he found a dry, slightly elevated clearing. Not perfect, but safe enough. At first his shelter was nothing more than a crude lean-to. A fallen branch became the backbone. He angled smaller sticks against it, forming a slanted wall. Then he piled leaves armful after armful until it formed a thick insulating layer. It collapsed twice. The first time rain soaked everything, turning his effort into a sagging mess. The second time he didn't secure the base properly, and the structure gave way under its own weight. But he remembered another lesson. Build like your life depends on it, because it does. So he improved. He learned to weave flexible branches together, creating a stronger frame. He used vines as cordage, twisting them tight, testing their strength before trusting them. He added layers, leaves, mud, bark, until the shelter became thicker, sturdier, more resistant to rain and wind. Eventually it stopped feeling temporary. It felt like a place. His tools came next. At first he used whatever he could find, sharp stones, broken branches, but over time he refined them. He shaped stones into crude blades by striking them against harder rocks. He carved spears from straight wood, hardening the tips in fire. Fire. That had been his greatest challenge. He remembered blistered hands, frustration, near despair, but the memory of a video, slow, patient instructions on friction. Fire kept him going. When the first ember finally caught, when the small flame flickered to life, he had felt something shift inside him, control. Traps were another lesson in patience. Let the trap work for you, he repeated that phrase often. At first his traps failed, poorly placed, badly constructed, but he began observing animal paths, noticing where rodents moved, where tracks appeared repeatedly. He built simple snare traps using bent saplings and vine loops. The first successful catch shocked him. He almost didn't know what to do next, but he learned. He refined placement, improved tension, adjusted height. Each failure became a lesson. Each success became confidence. Now his camp was more than survival. It was strategy, a reinforced shelter, a fire pit, traps set along known paths, to tools arranged within reach. Daniel ran his hand along the wooden frame of his shelter, feeling its strength. I built this, he whispered, not from skill he once had, but from knowledge he barely realized he remembered, and in this unforgiving forest, that memory had become the difference between dying and living.